you hear me? That was a really weird sound coming through. Could you hear it?
Yes.
What was it? Do you know?
It might have been from the phone and the computer line.
Okay. Okay, you ready for me to start? Are you right?
Ready for you to play the prelude.
Okay, play and sing the prelude. Let me get everything in order. Okay. Sometimes light falls hard, rain falls softly, thunder roars and lightning strikes. We go on with our family picnics in the dark, often linger after dark in skylight. Kids can run and fall and skin their knees. We pick them up and comfort them and dry their tears in dusky breezes, squeeze them tight and hold them, and they go out and play again. And we find comfort knowing they go on. They go on. Our lives were known in the place of tender love called home. We dreamt that life would always, always go on. Still light falls softly, rain comes hard, thunder shouts and lightning strikes, and what else can we imagine? So we go on. Yes, we go on. So sometimes rain falls hard, light falls softly, thunder roars, and lightning strikes. And we go on, and we go on, and we go on. Because we must. We must.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church. Our building is on Shaver Road in Portage, Michigan, on the ancestral lands of the Peoria Potawatomi people. We pay our respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. It is the Little Brick Church.
Can you
with
hear
the
me on this?
rainbow flag.
I can't hear anybody.
Mary Jo will want to mute at this point. We are having technical difficulties, everyone. Mary Jo, our guest speaker and musician today, they cannot hear any of the audio from us, so they don't really have good cues of when to speak and play. So this is unprecedented for us, a new one. So we are trying to communicate through our cell phones when it is her turn to be on. So please bear with us. So our church is the little brick building with the rainbow flag and the Black Lives Matter banner out front, because we believe that love is love, and it is our responsibility to dismantle white supremacy and build a beloved community that benefits us all. We are using the closed captioning feature. On your Zoom screen, you have the ability to turn it off and on. My name is Kimberly, and I'm happy to be your lay leader this morning. Our church is served most Sundays by our minister, Reverend G. Ludwig McCartney. We are a community on diverse spiritual journeys, and on other Sundays, we enjoy hearing differing points of view from guest ministers, guest speakers, and lay services. During the month of September, we are centering on spiritual wholeness as a spiritual theme for our church year focused on weaving the tapestry of life. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. We're excited that you tuned in. We invite and encourage you to attend the Zoom coffee hour following the service to get to know us better. You can find the link to coffee hour in the comments section of this Facebook Live video. To learn more about our church, including our programs for children and youth and other opportunities to connect with us during the week, visit our website at uucommunitychurch.org. Announcements. On Thursday, September 30th at 7 p.m., acclaimed author and inspirational speaker Ruth Fischel will be our special guest on Thoughtful Thursday. Formerly the director of Serenity, Inc., an organization she co-founded, Ruth is spending her retirement teaching, writing, and presenting workshops and women's spiritual retreats, and helping people become whole and healthy using the tools of meditation, mindfulness, affirmations, and visualizations. Login information for this virtual gathering can be found on our website. Come and be part of the conversation with Ruth. Our monthly newsletter, Community Matters, will be coming out on October 1st. If you are a subscriber, look for it in your inbox on Friday morning. If you would like to be added to our mailing list, you can visit our website and fill out a registration form. Special thanks to everyone who is helping to make this morning's service possible. Our tech team, including Gary, our office administrator, and you. We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all souls are welcome as blessings and the human family lives whole and reconciled. With this vision in our hearts and minds, please join in our chalice lighting words. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. I'm pleased to introduce our guest speaker and musician today, someone many of you will remember, Mary Jo Ramsey-Smith. Mary Jo was our artist in resident for 4 years at UUCC before she moved away from Michigan. She was born to a Southern Baptist preacher, and an experience at the Kennedy Center in DC brought her dream to sing alive. In adulthood, Mary Jo married, birthed 2 children, and had her own little opera company in Virginia. After the children graduated, she and husband Gary started their next adventure in New Mexico. Next, they moved to Michigan, and she met us. They now live in Arizona and continue the adventure of life. Mary Jo and Gary have made movies and won an award for Best Documentary Feature at Moondance International Film Festival. I was the one that called Mary Jo to see if she was interested in speaking to us. And I can't tell you how comforting and joyful it was to hear her voice again. The cadence, the melody, the accent, the words. Welcome back, Mary Jo, for a stint with the sermon and all the music. And I'm so sorry that the audio on your end is not working, and this is extremely stressful for all of us on camera. So I am going to text Mary Jo now so she knows that it is her turn to come on and give our sermon and the musical meditation. So hold on, everyone.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
She said yes. She said yes.
Okay. But this is funny. It says, go ahead with your demon. Not your sermon. Okay, you ready for me to go? 4 years ago, I think it was, we were getting ready to move again, of course. And we were actually getting things packed into a trunk with people, professionals. And Gary got a phone call. And his brother had to tell us that his 24 or 5-year-old son had just been killed in a car accident. So I started in that moment thinking about life and death differently. And I wrote the first part of that song, Life Goes On, or We Go On, as I thought about, I had to sing it at his memorial service. So I think of him today, Matthew. He has 2 children and his wife are in the car with him, but they made it out alive. So that was dedicated to Ramsey-Smith, Gary's nephew. And I started thinking about these things more. So this morning, the title of the sermon is Life as it Rushes and Rages and Rambles, and as I Imagine Death, which I must say is a strange new thing, because now that I'm 66, I don't think my life is going to go on forever. And it just hit me recently that I've had a grand life and I intend to keep having one, but I'm old enough to go, I have about a third of my life left, and I'm looking out that way and going, what will be out there when my time is over? And I know some of you don't believe in the afterlife, but I don't like the word believe, because believe requires some sort of commitment to a rational process. So I wrote poetry to start this sermon, and then I'm going to tell you about what it's like in my experience to midwife life and midwife death. So I will get started. So life as it rushes and rages and rambles, and I imagine death. And it's rhythmic in poetry, this part, not all of it. So here we go. How many dreams have you dreamed of your life, of children, of peace, of health? Switch glasses. Here we go. How many dreams have you dreamed of your life, of children, of place, time, space, time, beautiful immortality? I am invoking now. How can I stay young in a paradise inflamed by indulgence and neglect? Is there feedback? Okay. How can I stay young in a paradise inflamed by indulgence and neglect? Will I be lonely in a burned out world that's soon to be flooded by tears? Left behind, aching, I wander this land of dreams, while the wanting and waiting and wondering world bring the flow of a brand new wild. From myriad nebulae burst again from the cradle of singing stars. Tell me what carols they do sing, what harmony provide for the song sung by winged creatures on high. I can sing a descant to this many-layered song from the heart of the mother who for eons has whispered her lullabies. That's not working. The other ones. Her lullabies. Open the dance on clay and stone, the jigs and reels whose steps insist that I give myself to sweet, fierce forest, where all is still a whole, of purpose and love, affection invoked and sustained by wonder and gifts, of life and magic and myth, the shadows, the mystery, the earth-born sighs as I fall into sleep too soon. Too late, I dream of a world wherein the sweet little girl I was still lives. For yes, we are still every age we have been, and still many ages to come. As the world grows older, we are arrayed to embody the nebulae from mothering clouds, of which we are constantly born. We are strange, bright creatures here in this life, and not well fitted to the raiment of one size fits all. Life is bigger when we sing and we dance, declaring ourselves ready to run in a marathon of sacred, holy, ecstatic rhythm on a road that life has loaned us. I will come in last on such a run and take my time on the road to Mandalay. When life is made of grit and silk, fulsome and barren and rich with calling, I see now thousands of birds floating and rocking on water like tiny boats, a leisurely fleet awaiting the tide that catches and rushes them out to sea, where they take flight awaiting the sharks and fishes and whales in the tepid darkness below. We delight in trees and in these lives that we let rush past us. We delight in these lives that we let rush past us, cast a cold eye on life, on death. Horsemen pass by. A good life precedes a good death. We are made of stories of other worlds, ever worlds, never worlds, more imagining something beyond, ever, always the extant desire to walk and weave and love the adventure after I cease this glory, bathed in the glorious act of breath. Is there a song that haunts my life to which I have not yet attended? In that hushed song, my password, my call to a new place to sing. A wormhole through which to enter another domain that wants me to drive and dive to the heights, and deeping depths of Rachmaninoff concertos, the music that calls to lovers. In the heights of this flight of fancy, on the threshold of sleep, I wonder when I'll slip away into someday, some night, somewhere, sometime. I wonder if death is another dream from which I may arise to many imaginal realms. Where there's a we, I will join when this journey is made, crossing the river over the bridge whose soundness I do not yet trust. I reserve a domain in which to hear the soundings not yet made. Is this a party? Am I awake? Attended by creatures of dreams who are now to be my guides, familiars, friends, healers, fairy fate foundlings whose frenzies of music in forested palaces green, tree houses trimmed by the fae. What is death with such companions? Another morning risen? Sweet little girl, my dearest companion, myself, my past, my still many questions we share as one bright star. Is death a past in some other realm where Merlin waits to bestow the key card for the room reserved for all of my many selves? Are pets allowed? Are lovers welcome? And what is the number of my new room? Where is my angel? Are you my guide? No more panic, no more attacks, no more of fear, and no more waiting. I look deep into the night where awaits the code for the greatest adventure that we never have known. See there, stand Elisha and Enoch as well, our tour guides now, hosting the feast, this feast, since they have been here so long already. I guess we are neither goats nor sheep, waiting in the sky to be chosen for heaven or hell. I was taught that as that little child girl and was afraid for many years. But now, in another world, everyone gets a vaccine against all that is not love, a vaccine that tastes like a kiss. This is the place where dark meets light, where death is now host to greater life, joined as we wander the many worlds where travel is always safe. I breathe my vision, and here I am with ocean and cliffs and birds, these rivulets, rainforest sweet, and someone to sing alongside. We keep existing, we persevere, transcending limits bequeathed us by the mean old patriarchy. Instead, we flow, complex, chaotic, collapsing in each other's arms, lovers creating a lovely new world where we swim and we fly as we sprout our wings. Are we life? Are we death? Are we always? How much time do I have, Kimberly? I want to tell a story. Is anybody there? Hello? Okay.
Go ahead, tell your story.
Well, I'll tell a story. You'll have to stop me. I had a very, very dear friend in my youth, in my 30s when I was still young. And she got very, very sick. And I became her companion to walk her to and through her death. Her life was rich and full. We shared so much. And I realized when she died, I would never get to be the person I was with her again. There's a hole in the world, that space that we made together, and it was no longer available. But what I was able to do was tend to her as she faced her death. I look at my own death now. It's out there. Sometime in the next phase of my life, I will pass through those gates. I don't have a belief about what they are, but I do have musings and imaginings and hopes that there is a world where we can feel at home. But Marion got sick and she needed my help. I was able to be with her when we picked out her gravesite. We picked out her gravestone and decided what to put on the gravestone. It was in a beautiful cemetery in Stanton, Virginia called Thorn Rose Cemetery. But I was gifted with being one of her midwives to her death. And that phrase had been going with me for days. And I called to make my appointment for when I was going to be with her. And then I had to call back and say, no, that's not the right time. What I need is this time because I'm being called. I can feel it to be there with her. So surely enough, I got there that night. And she was having death rattles. And she was a beautiful little creature. But now she was bald from chemo. And she was not conscious on a regular level, but she was soul conscious. I could feel her presence there still. It had been a hard passage with this very bad cancer. And the night I was there, we sang to her, we held her, we read the Bible to her. She would go agitated and then she would go calm. There were 4 of us and we'd gather around her, calm her, and talk to her and sing to her until the agitation grew too great and her breath started to stop and start. And the links between breaths got longer and longer. And I felt as though I couldn't go with her, but we were able to walk her right up to that point where we could say, sweetheart, you can go now. You can go to the light because the arms of light wait for you. And she left. And it was a stunning moment to witness a soul, a body one letting go and one moving on. Dreamed of her after that. And I'll always remember that face, a real face to lie on while she was sick. And we laid her out. Laid her out that night in a nightgown, a beautiful eyelet lace nightgown. Her low bald head, her belly was swollen, filled with the illness. And she looked pregnant, actually, but she wasn't. Maybe she was pregnant with her rebirth into the next world. But as these breaths of hers got longer and longer, I got lost in the in-between of her breaths. It was suspended in space-time. And I've never quite had a feeling like that she was present, but she was going. And we stayed till dawn, and her husband and I didn't quite know how to act. The funeral home men came, and as she lay there on the floor, as they were ready to pick her up, I touched her, and she felt like alabaster, like she was made of a beautiful, soft stone. And they carried her away and put her in a coffin. I sang at her funeral and sat down and cried. I'd sung at her wedding 5 months before. And again, I sat down and collapsed. And I felt sick afterwards for many months, wondering if I was picking up just some of the discomfort she had. And I'll never forget her. I'll never forget what a privilege it is to sit and help make safer the journey into whatever the next world is. So Marion and Jeannie were two people I sat with as they died. And I keep wondering if that's what I need to do with myself in the world. Become a doula to the end of life. It's just one thing on the list. So I'll leave with you with that, and there's more songs to come. Kimberly said you might want to ask questions. And as I said earlier, I know some people are skeptics because they don't know. Some people think it's silly to imagine what's on the other side. But, I listen to mythic podcasts, and what I learned recently is that nothing that is not first imagined in the soul of a human or of a god or a goddess can be brought into life. And I also realized that mythologically, I wrote an opera about Hades and Persephone. And I realized that, strangely enough, in the old world, the underworld and this world, we're not quite as connected or disconnected as we think of. And that when Persephone went into Hades, she wasn't dead in the way we think of. She had some sort of life and beingness still. So I think what I would like to leave you with on the sermon is that there are so many aspects of life, and there's so many possibilities for this portal we call death and the pathway through to some other way of being. And I hope that life becomes more precious to us as we pass through this gauntlet of COVID. I'm deeply grateful that Gary and I haven't gotten sick from it. We've been careful. And may the world be blessed as well. So, I think it's time for the musical meditation. Kimberly, shall I move on? I need the words. Okay, I'm coming. I can't find the words. Tears to ashes. One moment, please. Are they somewhere else? Oh, I don't have the words to Tears to Ashes. I'll start playing it. Will you? What?
Put it over there.
One moment, please. That's the next thing. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I've got it. There is many kind of deaths in this world, and we are the death givers, unfortunately. I love mountains. This is a story about the death of mountains in West Virginia. Who thought a mountain could die? But I was introduced to the process of blowing the top off of mountains and ruining beautiful, beautiful places in West Virginia. So this is a rock called Tears to Ashes. And if you want to see a music video that goes with it, I'll talk to you afterwards. It's on my website. The husband here makes me beautiful music videos of my songs. Once I stood upon this rock where mountains fill the sky. They're gone, blown up, their ashes fly, while I stand here and cry. While I stand here and cry. Once I walked upon this trail where creatures romped and played. 10,000 trees, they would sing their songs. The wind would sing their praise. The wind would sing their praise. Assassins set their sights on coal and ruined lives below. Ghosts blow through the empty mountain towns where gardens ne'er can grow. Oh, where gardens ne'er can grow. Once I stood upon this rock where mountains, glorious mountains, fill the sky. They're gone, blown up, their ashes fly, and I stand here and cry. And I stand here and cry. Savage, cruel, ruined, all we can do is mourn. I listen for the voices gone, and I stand here and cry. hands for the men that blew them up. I stand here and hope they become anew somewhere else. Once I stood upon this rock where mountains filled the sky. They're gone, blown up, their ashes fly away, while I stand here and cry, while I stand here and cry.
Thank you, Mary Jo. What a great job she's doing presenting and singing without any audio cues. And how great to hear her perspective and original songs. The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We receive an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will sustain the self-supporting church and its many ministries. If it is yours to do, you may mail a check to our building, or you may give electronically on our website or using the new Venco mobile app. The gifts of the congregation will be most gratefully received.
Darkness came across the sea and burrowed into flesh and bone, and we are stalked by dangers we can't see. Fear and pain and wonder for the silent killers waiting in the wings. Please let me stay and hide away from danger in my nest. Surrounding me, I stay at home and safe but lonely, as so many people do. At first I thought that stay at home might be a thing when we could sing and dance and create more beauty in our lives. But soon the world grew fraught with fear and pain, and oft I cried just to stay sane. Where trucks line up to carry frozen bodies into silence, there is no space for them what's dead, except in hearts that now grow pale with grief that will go on and yes, the pain and grief go on, the death and pain go on. But still I hope an angel reached to hold your hand, offered you a shining soul, and told you you were safe in this place outside a time that you are loved and you're still mine. And somewhere dearie, we will all go on. Hearts break open, they will do that. Light goes dim and aches grow dimmer. Sometimes we don't want to go on. Sometimes we just cannot face it. So we take pebbles in our hands. We skip the pebbles, cross the water. See the birds take wing just like the otter. Shadows dim and stars will shine. Grief and joy in memory mingle. mingle as we go on, and life and death deeper into mystery we all will face somewhere someday. 'Cause yes, let there still be rain and thunder, tears and laughter, music strange and wild, and we can travel now again from life and death and back again. Please let us find a way to all go on where we can meet another world, old friends and dear ones, always there. Always, always, always going on. Hearts break open, love will do that. The light grows dim and aches grow deeper. Sometimes we just don't want to go, and yet we still go on.
As we extinguish the chalice, let us remember to keep the flame awake and alive in our souls, and let the light of the chalice bind us together, showing us the way. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
One moment, please. What? This is one of my favorite poems in the whole world. It speaks to life, it speaks to death, it speaks to beauty, it speaks to soul. Wallace Stevens, Sunday Morning, just 2 verses. There's a million of them. Complacencies of the pen noir, the late coffee and oranges, and the green freedom of a cockatoo upon a rug mingle to dissipate the holy hush of ancient sacrifice. She dreams a little as she feels the dark encroachment of that old catastrophe as the calm darkens among waterlights. The pungent oranges and bright green wings seem things like some procession of the dead, winding across wide water without sound. The day is like wide water without sound, stilled for the passing of her dreaming feet over the seas to silent Palestine, dominion of blood and sepulchre. Why should we give our bounty to the dead? What is divinity if it can come only in silent shadows and in dreams? Shall we not find in comforts of the sweet bright sun, in pungent fruit and bright green wings? Or else in any balm or beauty of the earth, things to be cherished like the thought of heaven? Divinity must live within itself, within herself. Passions of rain, or moods in falling snow, grievings in loneliness, or unfinished elations. When the forest blooms again gusty, emotions on wet roads on autumn nights, all pleasures and all pains. Remembering the bough of summer and the winter branch, these are the messages destined for our souls. I need the bowl. You got it? The bowl? I don't remember it. I need, I'll just sing it with a chord. Okay, Forget. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Day is breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? They've gone to the woods and the streams to pray again today. Oh, where are dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? They're down in the valley praying, down in the valley praying, down and far away and long ago, but still they sing. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright